Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mike Kollin at crackthefemalecode.com. Okay, so there is a very interesting dynamic that goes on between men and women, and that includes between me and you guys, okay? A long time ago, I was probably about 28 years old. I was already a certified NLP trainer, master hypnotherapist, all that stuff. And I was teaching pickup, and I was taking some guys to Emeryville at the, I forgot the name, Bay Street. It's a little mall, lots of restaurants and, mall. It's basically a mall, outside mall. And these beautiful girls walked up, started talking to us, and they're like, "What do you do?" And I'm like, "Well, I specialize in communication." Now, the reason why I say that is I already know that they're like, "Really?" Because women really, communication means a lot. I'm like, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, I teach men how to open up to the right brain and speak the internal language." And she's like, "Really?" Because men don't do this. Okay, I just want to let you know that's a coded language. What I said was extremely sexual, like pornographic, triple X rated. And that's why she said, "Really?" Because men don't do that. Men are direct. You speak the direct language. What I did, I said A, but I meant something deeper, more meaningful, and with symbolically meant something else, B. Now there's an entire art behind this, doing this. Now your direct brain will just teach me like what directly are you doing? It's not direct, it's literally indirect. But when you learn the steps on how to do it, you're like, "Oh, this isn't that indirect." It's actually like, yeah, it's a step-by-step process. But it's a different process. It's a right brain process. It's very foreign to the male brain. So if I try to teach it to you in this video, it'd go right over your head. Now I'm going to tell you what stimulated this video. I've got a client who hasn't taken the course yet, but we've talked on the phone a bit. He's bought one of my books, etc., etc. Now he's really into Stoicism, and he keeps saying, "Hey, do you know anything about Stoicism?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, that's what I do." And as a very typical experience, he thinks he understands it, but he doesn't at all. He's hearing B when A is being taught. And this is what happens to you guys when you try to listen to different teachings, is you're not hearing what's being said. In fact, you're literally hearing the opposite. Now here's why. Okay, so the left brain and right brain are literally processors, just like an IBM computer's Linux or linear processor versus the IBM the Apple circular non-linear processor. Now, if you haven't heard of non-linear, you need to go higher in math. There's something called non-linear math, and there's something called non-linear physics. When I'm telling you women are speaking a different language, I mean that literally. It's a different language that goes right over your brain, right over your head, because it's a right brain language. You need to use the right brain processor in order to even just hear it. Okay, guys, if you've gotten this far, please suck it up and just listen to this video. This is a concept that you have to get, or you're just going to be completely lost for the rest of your life. So these are two different filters that give two completely different meanings to the same words. It's similar to learning like a new language like Spanish, German, Italian, or Chinese, but it's kind of opposite. Now let me explain. When you learn a language, you learn different words that have the same meaning. In other words, hola in Spanish means hello. Hello and hola, two different words, but they have the same meaning. Now here's the diabolicalness of this communication with women. We're using the same words. Now let's just use the language English, okay, because I speak English. So we're using the same English words, but here's what happens. The two different brains, the left and the right brain, give two completely different meanings to the same word. So when she says romance, you hear A, but she means B. So here's the deal, guys. I'm literally telling you, we are speaking two different languages within the same language. It is a bizarre concept to understand. So It would be like hello to her means goodbye, but hello to you means hello. Do you get it? This is how different our brains process the same words. Anytime I have this conversation with a woman, you know what the response is? Okay, so here's how I say it to women. I go, you know how sometimes when you're in your right brain and you say something like a paragraph or 2 paragraphs of information out of your right brain? She's like, yeah. But then he hears it and he hears the complete opposite. So you're saying A and you mean A. She's like, yeah. But then he comes out and after it goes through his brain, he's hearing B and says, you're saying B. When you're not saying B, you're saying A. She goes, oh, tell me about it. This is the story of my life. And if you don't believe me, guys, have your mother listen to the last 10 seconds or 15 seconds of what I just said. Have your girlfriends, your ex-girlfriends, have your teachers, have a female police officer, have the pastor's wife listen to what, and she'll be like, oh yeah, this is the struggle between men and women. So here's what specifically happens. Specifically is the left brain word. I'm beginning to use more left brain words because I realize you guys aren't clicking with the right brain stuff. So here's specifically what is happening. She is processing information through her right brain. So she's filtering words through her right brain and she's saying A. What you do unconsciously, it's not a bad thing. You're not doing nothing wrong. You're not stupid, nothing like that. But on an unconscious level, because this is what we all do, you bring the same words from her right brain and you pull them over to your left brain and you filter them through your left brain's processor, which is a different processor. It's the logical processor. The right brain is the 5 senses processor. Think of these brains as filters. When you filter words through the emotional, creative 5 senses processor, you're having an emotional experience. You're filtering words through see, hear, feel, smell, and taste through your 5 senses. It usually is a visceral, physical, emotional experience. And what I tell men is women literally need to feel what you're saying in order to understand you. If she doesn't have a physical experience of feeling what you're saying, she literally can't understand you. It's not possible neurologically. Here's the deal. Men don't do this. They speak the logical language. So she's not feeling anything. The logical language has no 5 senses descriptive words in it. So the left brain filters everything through logic. So you take the same words. Okay, if you filter them through the emotional 5 senses processor, imagine words are going through a filter. Once they go through this filter of emotions and feelings, what happens on the other side? They become emotions and feelings. Have a woman listen to what I just said in the last minute and a half. I guarantee she's like, what do you mean, men don't know this? Of course that's what's going on. When you filter the same words through the left logical filter, what experience do you think you're going to have? A logical experience, which is completely different than the feeling emotional experience. Get it? 2 different processors, 2 different definitions to the same words, 2 different meanings to the same words, 2 different experiences from the same words. This is the biggest mistake that men make in life. She's saying A out of her right brain, he filters it through the left brain, and he swears to God she's saying fucking B, but she's not saying B. Here's my point, guys. You're not hearing what's being said. You think you are, but you're not. Now, I like to use the Bible a lot because the Bible, okay, especially the teachings of Jesus, is internal awareness. Jesus literally says to look within. He's always referencing internal right brain language. How do I know? Because I teach the language. If you buy the ultimate package, it'll introduce you to a list of internal words. See, once you learn the internal language, you'll see it everywhere. You're going to hear it in music. You know, Evanescence, when I first started hearing this stuff and seeing it, I was like, holy shit. I even went to someone, it was a woman, I go, listen to the words, they're all internal language. She goes, yeah, I know, Michael. I was like, when did she start doing that? He's, Michael, she's always done it that way. I was like, what? You're going to see it everywhere once you're introduced to it. It becomes fucking obvious. But because your left brain can't see it because you don't even know what it is, you can't even understand what the fuck they're saying. Now, okay, watch this. Okay, so there's this video that's trying to help older men to date younger women because younger women love older women. One guy goes, well, I don't got a wallet, so they're not going to date me. I don't have a wallet. I'm not a rich guy by any fucking means. I bet every one of you listening to this video probably makes more money than me. I'm serious. It's been tough the last 5 years. First thing I let them know is like, hey, I'm not rich. I'm driving around a Honda Civic from the 90s. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I got a 1-bedroom apartment. First thing I let them know right off the bat so they know what they're getting into. They still date me. Guys, I'm telling you, it's not about your fucking wallet. That's about you thinking it's about that. So this, okay, watch this. Okay, so in this video, the video is called 97% of older men don't realize girls ask this to hit on you. All right? So I scroll down and this guy says, okay, I just found it. He says, ladies, we guys aren't mind readers. If you have something to say or ask, then say or ask it. Subtle hints are not communicating. If you can't communicate clearly, then you simply are not worth my time. Well, here's the deal. She is communicating clearly in a different language. Here's the thing. When you learn how to speak this language, you're going to be like, wow, this isn't actually that indirect at all. It's like, no, it's actually, it's a different set of words. It's a different language and it's processed in a different way. See, literally, it's like going to Mexico and say, you know, what's wrong with you people? Why don't you speak perfect English? Because it's Mexico. They speak Spanish there. Duh. Honestly, it would be equivalent to telling a woman, well, why don't you have a penis? Because she's a woman. Hello? Alright, here's what I'm trying to emphasize and get across to you. Here, I'm going to use the male language. Here's the point I'm trying to make. Women don't realize that you're not speaking the same language, just as much as you don't realize you're not speaking the same language. Women don't realize that you bring her words over to your left brain and process them through the left brain when she's obviously in her right brain. They don't know that you're doing that. You didn't know that you were doing that until you listened to this video. But you get all butthurt and you try to blame women and get mad at women. And they're looking at you like, what the fuck's he mad about? What did I fucking do? That'd be like going to China and get mad at people for speaking Mandarin or, you know, whatever language, Cantonese and whatever language they speak there. It's like, bro, you're in China, man. It's not a dominant English-speaking country. It's Chinese. Number one, I am attempting to get across to you clearly that we are speaking, okay, not only are we speaking two different languages, we are using two radically, completely different processors that give two completely different meanings to the same words. We are not understanding each other. But Shazam! Mike Kollin has arrived, the second coming of Mike. I bring you good news. I discovered how to do this, and I can teach you how to do this. You want power with women? Take the course. It's going to change your entire life. Now, until you learn how to open up to your right brain and process in this way, which is a literal process, it takes time to learn how to do this. It's not like, oh, teach it to me one time, Mike. Because what's going to happen is you're going to constantly go back to your left brain to verify, go back to your left brain, and you're going to change the meaning, and you're going to get confused. So it's a process of you getting comfortable going, okay, and then when you finally get there, you're going to be like, wait a minute, I understand. It's literally... It's like you put on some brain machine or something. All of a sudden you understand a language you never even knew existed. And remember, number two to all of this, well, because guys, well, why doesn't she learn my language? Because your language sexually turns her off and irritates her. More importantly, the right brain language is connected to her mating system. The mating system's nerve, which is in the lower reptilian brain, goes up and curves off to the right to her right brain's communication center. The right brain language and processor turn her on sexually. This is romance to a woman. Meaning, oh, by the way, the word romance has two completely different meanings. To most men, it means taking her out to dinner, paying for dinner, pulling out the chair, opening the door, driving her car, they're getting out, opening the car door and letting her in, driving her to the restaurant, getting out and opening the door and giving his hand to lift her out of the car, opening the restaurant door and, talking to the hostess to sit you down and pulling out the chair and, paying for dinner and all that stuff. That's not romance. That's following rules. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Women do not consider that romance at all. Romance to a woman literally means seduction. To a man, romance means open the door, pay for dinner, candlelight dinner, expensive steak, expensive bottle of champagne. That's not romance. Romance is right brain, internal seduction language. If you want to find out more, buy my book, Crack the Female Code, okay? Go to crackthefemalecode.com or seductionpower.com. In my next video, there's a video that I found about Stoicism that literally word for word literally describes what I teach in my course. Go to seductionpower.com and buy my book, Crack the Female Code. Better yet, if you want to get the bonus section, and the only place you can get it is in that package, it has Crack the Female Code, my book, Get the Girl, Keep the Girl, Sex Signals, and then it has the bonus section, which is a list of internal language words, so you can begin to catch a clue. If you read that stuff and then come and take the course, you're going to be prepared. Literally what we're going to do, we're going to shift your entire perspective for real. Not kind of, oh yeah, say something cool, Mike. No, it's not about saying something cool. We are going to shift your mind. You're going to look at the world from the other side of the fence. I promise you, you are going to look at life in a it's not like it's a thought or an opinion. You're going to see things from the other side, literally. This is a complete mind shift. This is not a series of openers and lines and memorization tools. That's all left brain stuff. That's pickup artist stuff. I shouldn't even say the word pickup or pickup artist anymore. This is a mastery in seduction. Alright, that's it guys. If you like this video, please click subscribe, click the like button, go ahead and make a comment, and I'll leave you with Adam once again.
From England, London.
London.
All right, so far we're about 2/3 through the course. What do you think about it?
Oh, it's awesome, man. I'm learning all about it. I went through some really deep hypnotic states.
Right.
I realized how to internalize.
Right.
So I felt really good.
So what did you say about my course overall?
I said it was awesome. Yeah, you are a genius because of learning about neuro-linguistic programming, hypnosis.
There he is. By the way, I wanted to ask you something. Do you like this wood?
I do. It's good wood, man.
Take a look at the wood. but you're not hypnotized, are you?
You may have triggered a few states.
Well, let's look at the wood. Is there anything special about the wood? I don't want you to imagine the first time you looked at the wood and started laughing now. No, I do not hypnotize people. I put them in. So let me ask you a question. Would you say you've been happier than you've been in a long time?
I felt some pretty high states, man. I'm crying, dude.
Alright, so we did 2 different hypnosis things on Adam. One was to help him to pick up on women he was afraid of approaching. I just connected that to something that was what we call a powerful driver in NLP. And believe it or not, it was hunger. Hunger for hamburgers. There's a certain kind of hamburger in London that he gets that just makes him like he has to have it. And so I anchored that in to whenever he liked a woman that he wanted to approach, and boom, he would approach literally right when we went out to the lobby. It's in a video I put in the past. It's the same video, but early in the video I cut out. He instantly went after the girl. I mean, it was really cool, and he sat down, he was calm, he was in the right state of mind. The other one was laughter, because Adam had kind of an angry edge to him all the time, so I wanted to get him to pop out of that to create another emotional state that would help him to interact with people better, not just women, but society. All right, guys, coaching is open in September. It was kind of full in August. That's why I keep saying this. It is open. We have a lot of slots. Come on in. I'm in the Bay Area in California. Come in and do your one-on-one coaching or join one of our seminars. All right, I'll see you guys at the next training. Bye. If you haven't bought my book, Crack the Female Code, or bought my Ultimate Package, the question is, why not?